Welcome back. So now we go over problems from web work. Problem 1. The integral negative 7 sine x cosine x dx can be evaluated in 4 different ways. You may substitute u equals cosine x, in which case du will be negative sine x dx, u equals sine x. You could also use sum angle formula and so on. Or you can also use integration by parts. Let's use any of these. So, evaluate integral negative 7 sine x cosine x dx. So, set u equals cosine x. Then du equals negative sine x dx. So, that takes care of negative sine dx. So, I get equals, this integral is equals integral 7u du. So that is 7u squared over 2 plus a constant of integration. 7 cosine squared over 2. 7 cosine squared x by 2 plus a constant of integration. Let's check. Good. Next problem. Integral negative 6 sine to the power x 6x cosine to the power 3x dx. All right. Negative 6 sine to the power 6x cosine to the power 3x. Here, let u equals sine x. Then du equals cosine x. So why did we do that? Let's see. Sine x, sine to the power 6, cosine cubed. Let's split that into cosine x dx and cosine squared. That cosine squared in turn becomes 1 minus sine squared. So now you have u equals sine x, du equals cosine x dx. We are taken care of here. So integral negative 6 u to the power 6 times 1 minus u to the power 2 times of du, okay, integral du. Negative 6 is constant, comes out. Integral, multiply, distribute the u to the power 6, u to the power 6 minus u to the power 8 du. When I take integration, don't forget negative 6, u to the 7th power over 7 minus u to the 9th power over 9 plus a constant of integration. So negative 6, resubstituting u equals sine x, we get negative 6. Let's type that in. And let's not forget parentheses. Sine 7th power of x by 7 minus sine 9th power of x by 9, and all of this plus a constant of integration. Okay, good. Next, definite integral pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4, 6 sine to the power 5th x cosine to the power 3 dx. So before we evaluate the definite integral, let's evaluate the indefinite integral. 6 sine to the 5th power x cosine to the power 3rd of x dx. Similar to the previous one, we will say let u equals sine x, du equals cosine x dx. So cosine cubed, we'll split it as cosine squared and cosine. Cosine x dx is going to be du, and cosine squared can be rewritten as 1 minus sine squared. So you have 6 integral sine to the 5th power times 1 minus sine to the 2nd power. Now use the substitution u equals sine x. So 6 integral u to the 5th power times 1 minus u squared cosine x dx is du. Distribute u to the 5th power minus u to the 7th power du. When you take the integral, you have 6 u to the 6th power over 6 minus u to the 8th power over 8 plus c. Resubstituting u equals sine gets you this result. Now this was indefinite integral. So now to evaluate definite integral, we don't need constant of integration anymore. We just need to evaluate this expression, this entire expression at the upper limit and subtract value at the lower limit. Remember, what is sine of 3 pi by 4? Sine of 3 pi by 4 is 1 over root 2. So 1 over square root 2, sixth power is 1 over 2 to the 8th power. So that's where you have this 2 here, by the way. All right. What about sine at pi by 2? Sine at pi by 2 is 1. So I don't have anything other than the denominators here. So this is a longish expression. You can calculate it. I have left empty space here. Or you can simply substitute in web work as it is. So there is a 6 outside. Let's not forget it. And then a bracket. And then parenthesis 1 divided by 6, 2 to the 3rd power. That's the first term within the parenthesis, minus 1 divided by 8, 2 to the 4th power. So that's the first set of parentheses, minus 1 divided by 6 minus 1 divided by 8. Okay, and close parentheses, close brackets. I hope everything is fine. Let's try. Everything is good. Next, evaluate the integral. So this is a definite integral, 0 to pi by 2, 6 cosine squared x dx. So 6 cosine squared x dx. So cosine squared, we are going to say, oh, we have already evaluated cosine squared x, integral of cosine squared x. We used the twice angle formula for it. Go through your notes or your earlier videos. You will find integral of cosine squared x, that is sine 2x. So that's the twice angle formula, over 4 plus x over 2 plus a constant of integration. For a definite integral, 6 times of that, 6 is out. I don't need constant of integration. I'll take this expression, evaluate at pi by 2, evaluate at 0. Okay. At pi by 2, 2 times pi by 2 is pi. Sine of pi is 0. Okay. So this gets me pi by 4. At 0, sine of 0 is 0. X evaluated at 0 is 0. So they fetch me nothing. 6 times pi over 4 is 3 pi by 2. Let's check. Good. Next problem. Evaluate the integral negative 10 tan squared. Well, we have evaluated the indefinite integral tan squared, that is tan x minus x plus c. Okay. Tan squared, you may think of it as secant squared minus 1, and then proceed with the integration. Integral of secant squared is tan, integral of 1 is x, and that's where you get this. 10 of this, negative 10 of this is negative 10 of all of this, and don't forget constant of integration. So it is negative 10 tan x minus x, and do not forget constant of integration. Notice how we always keep constant of integration away from any multiples, because a number times a constant is another constant, some other constant. So it's safer to just keep it aside. All right. So next problem will continue in our next video.